Hey there, Kenny with Growth Amplifiers here. Question for you. Have you ever had an experience in life that just kind of give you a little bit of overwhelm or maybe gave you some stress or anxiety? Yes. I think we can all say yes. If you are in business or if you're a parent or if you have family or friends or you're just watching any sort of media whatsoever, you've probably experienced this. Life can be full of its challenges. It has many blessings and many great things, but it has its challenges too. In this video, I'm going to be sharing a book review of Positive Intelligence. And it's a really powerful book. I've read it and I've actually been through the program. And so, without further ado, let's get in here because positive intelligence is all about helping elevate your mental fitness, which can elevate your life, reduce the stress, give you more joy, happiness, healthy relationships, and everything. And it was put together by this man right here, Shirzad Charmine. He is the author of Positive Intelligence. He did a famous TED Talk. If you haven't seen his TED Talk, you can go on YouTube and check it out. This is a New York Times best-selling book, and he has provided this framework. It's an operating system, really, to help strengthen your mind, your mental fitness, so that you can appreciate more of the things in your life. See, mental fitness, the definition here is your capacity to respond to life's challenges with a positive rather than negative mindset. So, we're going to have setbacks in life. We're going to get those punches in the gut. Ooh. But how we respond to those, how quickly we respond to those, we can influence with better mental fitness. So, strong mental fitness can lead to peak performance. So, when you're really in the zone, you really feel more joy and happiness. You're really connected. You'll have better performance. You'll also have better peace of mind and wellness. And you can also, as mentioned earlier, have healthier relationships. And I've actually experienced this for myself and have been seeing others implement this operating system. And it really is life changing. Now, when I first heard of it, I was a little bit skeptical because I've read, plenty of books on mindset and meditation and habits. And I thought, it's another book that's kind of give me the same information. But really it was different because it was an operating system. And it's a combination of uh, different research from positive psychology, performance science, and neuroscience, and cognitive behavioral psychology. And the cool thing is, um, as I went through the program, I became a mental fitness coach. And I'm implementing this into my work with growth amplifiers, helping business owners amplify their business. And I share that because I've had the opportunity to connect with other mindset coaches and psychologists and people that have been in this space for years. And all of them have told me that they've gained a lot from this operating system, that it has given them something that's easier to share and easier for others to implement. So it's really all coming together with a positive intelligence operating system. Now, if you haven't seen my video on results, or on factor analysis, you could check out that video. But factor analysis is basically when you really marry down things down to their core. So you take something that's complicated and you simplify it. Just like how you can take millions of colors and simplify them down to three, the primary colors. And he's done that with this work. He's taken a lot of complicated things when it comes to mindset and simplified it down to three core muscles that are the root of mental fitness. The first one is the saboteur interceptor. You might be wondering, Kenny, what the hell is a saboteur interceptor? Well, I'm going to share you what saboteurs are in this book, the concepts from this book in a moment. So hang tight. So the saboteur interceptor is the first muscle. Your sage power is the second, and then the power of self command. So it gives you three muscles to focus on and then gives you the exercises and framework to strengthen those muscles. And let me tell you, I read a book years back. I was reading a sales book by Brian Tracy. In the first chapter, he said, the number one thing to be successful in business and sales is you got to have strong mental fitness. And to do that, you need a mental fitness regimen. Well, he didn't explain what the regimen was. So I knew, okay, you need to have strong mental fitness, but I didn't know how to apply that. I didn't know how to strengthen it. And this is a framework to do so, which is why I find it so valuable and why it's one of the pillars of the books that I recommend to the clients I serve. Oh, by the way, if you haven't done so already, like and subscribes are great. I'm on a mission to help inspire and empower people to better serve their mission. So subscribing would be supported. Oops, I jumped right over the saboteurs. Okay. Apparently I didn't click the animate button for the subscribe. So um, there are 9 different saboteurs. And basically, the saboteurs are kind of like your self defense mechanisms, the behaviors, the patterns that you've developed through time that they may have helped you at some point, but you tend to overplay them. And now they actually sabotage you. This may be avoiding or people pleasing or always needing to feel busy or always trying to accomplish more and more and adding more to your plate. Uh, just saying. That could be something that we all find from time to time. We have patterns that we developed and they can be sabotaging us. And if we don't know they're there, we can't address them. So being aware of our saboteurs and the lies that they tell us is the first step. Then we have the power of self command. And Shirzad shares a technique of doing PQ reps, which are kind of just taking a little break, a little bit of time to focus on tuning in and getting grounded. We have so much going on in our mind. We're getting constantly stimulated by all these different things from news, from work, from kids, from families, from technology. And it can overwhelm our minds. And we just have so much going on, we can't really process, like a computer trying to run too many things. Right. And so this is getting us to strengthen, get grounded, and focused. And just like any other muscle, when you strengthen that muscle, it gets stronger. Okay. And then we have the sage perspective. The sage perspective is really cool because it shares that every outcome or circumstance can be turned into a gift and opportunity. So it's really your perspective on life. Now you may have heard, people have kind of said you could have the glass half empty or half full. Well, you can choose which way that you want to live your life by. And when you adopt this as a principle, you can choose to have a more positive outlook, which will give you more positive feelings, which will give you the power to perform at peak performance. So that's a technique. And then he shares the sage powers, the 5 sage powers: empathize, explore, innovate, navigate, and activate. And then shares a strategy of how you can implement these into your daily life. So these 5 powers, each of these are tools that you can use as part of this operating system that can help you thwart those saboteurs and really get into your peak performance. So it's really being more positive, having more joy, having more happiness, excitement, all the things that you'd want in life, and reduce the stress, anxiety, and overwhelm. And one of the things that's been really helpful for me as I joined the program and went through the program, you could get the book, which has really great concepts, but there is a program you can go through. And that's one of the things that I'm now facilitating for others. But you get access to an app. And why I'm sharing this with you is because for the longest time, I knew some of this information, some of these best practices, and I always had the intention of putting them into a habit. But I would get started for maybe a few days, maybe a few weeks, and then kind of fall off. But now, because of the app, I went through the 6-week program, which turned it into a real habit, tracked my progress, one of the disciplines of execution. And now for 7 months straight, I've not missed one day of mental fitness. And I do have more joy, more relaxation, more peace, better connection with my family. Everything has been really awesome. And I'm seeing it in others too. So I'm sharing all that with you as we get to the takeaways here. Um, Number one, everyone needs strong mental fitness to have more positive and joyful life anyway. You can go through life without it, but you'll just have more stress and anxiety and unproductive relationships. And personally, I would rather have more joy and excitement in my life, more peace. So everyone needs strong mental fitness because, we're all human. We're all human. I believe it is critical for success in life. If you really want to succeed in life, I believe it's critical because life is going to be challenging, and you're going to get those setbacks. And if you don't respond quickly, and rise up and get out of that funk, you're going to waste a lot of time wallowing around. And I've done that in the past. And this doesn't just like transform you into a superhuman that doesn't have feelings or ever get pushed down, but it helps you recover quicker. Okay. So look at some of the most successful people. They failed a lot, but they just got up quick and got right back at it. Another important thing that I've learned from this is it's not enough to know. You need to put it into practice. And I'll say that's probably one of the bigger mistakes that I've made is that I read some books even like 20 years ago. I'm like, okay, I read it. I know it. Good to go. But I didn't put some things into a daily practice. And that's really how you strengthen your mental fitness. It's not enough to know, you've got to put it into practice. And daily is the best. Okay. Um, you must make the time. Unfortunately, I facilitate a program and guide people through the initial 6-week boot camp to learn the operating system and practice the exercises. And the biggest um, thing that I hear people say is why they couldn't do it is, I can't participate in that program because I don't have the time. And you must make the time for taking the actions to strengthen yourself. That's like saying I don't have the time to eat. It's like you need to eat. Eating helps you become stronger. So mental fitness is like one of the number one things you could do to increase your performance, your happiness. What else would you rather do? Get a couple check boxes off your to-do list? And this helps you increase your performance too, so you can actually save time when you strengthen it. So don't make that excuse. And then last but not least, this is truly transformational. Now, personally, myself, I gained an awareness of my saboteur is a hyperachiever, which sounds great on paper, but it's actually not that great because it basically means you're always trying to achieve more and more. And you'll keep on taking more things on. And sometimes you can even overwhelm yourself. And unfortunately, it's like a never ending fuel. You can't ever get satisfied because you're always needing to achieve the next thing. So it's kind of a horrible thing, actually, because you're never content. But with the awareness of it, I've learned about it. I learned of how I could overcome it. I used some of the sage powers, and now I'm recovering. So I've seen it myself. I saw a business owner I work with. He was really overwhelmed with his business. He runs a multi-million-dollar company with a growing team and staff. And he has this day-to-day whirlwind that just drives him nuts. And he was stressed out and he was just wondering if he should just quit. And I'm not laughing, but he was wondering if he should quit after building this multi-million-dollar company because it gives him so much stress. And he went through this program, and I kid you not, he just had like this different energy about him because he put things back in perspective. He was so caught up and so close to things, he couldn't see the perspective. He had to step back to really see things differently. So these are just a few of the stories, but I've seen countless stories. So it sounds like I'm heavily pushing this book because it's transformative to me. It's one of my top 10 books of recommendation. And I think it's a really great book. Now, I know there's some skeptics out there or some people who can kind of like look at it and say, yeah, it's kind of like other things. But to me, it's simple, it's a process, and it's something I've followed, and it's actually delivered results on multiple people. Actually, anyone that I've ever seen actually implement it, I've seen it transform their lives. The only people I haven't are the people who kind of like look at it and say, I don't have time for that. So I want to share that with you. If you haven't checked out the book, you could do that. If you'd like to learn more about the program, leave me a note. And I'd love to see your comments on what you think of positive intelligence if you've read it or have went through the program. Thank you so much for your support. If you're watching this during Mental Health Awareness Month, um, that's a big thing. It's a big thing. If we don't take care of our minds, it can turn into other minds. It could turn into challenges, and we need to support each other. We need to realize that strengthening mental fitness is not a sign of weakness, it is a sign of being strong. So, thank you for your support. I appreciate you and the amplifier you are. You have an amazing day.